Hey guys. So I just finished up a trip to New York. I was there for about 2 weeks. I went to visit a friend there, help out with them. They were traveling and needed some help with the kids. While I was there, I was able to go down to Rockaway Beach. I created a new post on the blog, sustainablesurfergirl.com. You can go and check that out. Gives you directions on how to get there from downtown all the way out, public transport, and great New York City transit system that it is. It was really easy to do. I switched lines, but it was pretty simple. So anyone can kind of go out there. While I was there, I had some great chats with my friend's husband who works in marketing as well. He is a much higher level, but it was great to get some feedback and to kind of discuss where the business was going. I also picked up a couple books on my way back at the airport. I have a bit of a guilty pleasure. Well, not guilty pleasure. I kind of have a habit of buying books whenever I'm at the airport, especially in New York. They have some really great selections out there. I picked up this one, the sales strategy for the AI Edge, the AI Edge, sales strategies for unleashing the power of AI to save time, sell more, and crush the competition. I just started this. It's not a lot of new information. It was actually written I think it was published in 2024, if the back cover or the inside cover is correct. So it's not new information in AI that would be never ending. So it is a great reference if you're new to the AI technology, if you're not really sure. I have a lot of debates with my sister over AI. Well, not debates. We actually have the similar kind of mindset that we don't agree with it. We find it's not sustainable in terms of the environment. It wastes a lot of water, and it's expensive and not ideal for human society. However, this is where we're going. If you don't adopt, you will be left behind. But one thing I did really love in this book specifically is there's one, it talks about, it says a lot about the real advantage that people have in the future won't be that it's AI, it will be that you know how to use it and how to apply it. And that's something that's key. And as a designer, I don't argue on new technologies. I embrace them. When you look at designers, even 50 years ago, I mean, they were using paper and pen and crayon pencils. The technology in the resources of the art supplies, in the digital media that we have now, in computers, in systems, in plugins, in design, from web design to logo design. Canva is a great innovative software tool that has entered the game. A lot of people argue people who use Canva are not designers. I think if you're a designer, you work with the skill set that you have, with the resources that you have. So I wouldn't argue they're not designers, but to have someone who has the experience and knowledge of design from start to finish is going to be a lot more valuable than, say, someone who just uses Canva. So that's kind of what this is going back to, is AI gives you those tools and those resources accessible to anyone, whether you have the skills or knowledge. However, people with skills and knowledge and experience are going to level up a lot higher. And if they embrace AI, then they're next level. So that's one thing I did find really interesting about this book and what I agreed about. So I have had a few leads and potential clients asking me about AI. It is something I do work with. But I use it as necessary. I don't believe in putting everything in the AI. Anyone who has played around with even Chat GPT, you know you have to put in quite a few prompts in order to get what you need. So I've also lost a lot of time in using AI because it was faster for me to do it myself, because I had the knowledge and I knew what I wanted to say. So that said, AI is a tool that we have to use, but it's not necessary either. So there is a lot of anti-AI marketing out there. You'll see a lot more publications. I think it was Polaroid, Heineken. There was a few I saw that they have a bit of an anti-AI strategy that they're using. as a sustainable surfer girl brand, I try to focus on the most sustainability. So whatever resource is the most sustainable. I do try to avoid AI when possible because of the damaging effects it has on the environment and society in general. And as artists, a lot of the learning language machines are using copyrighted works, they access all the information that's out there or artwork that's out there. So as designers, we're not getting credited for our work. So I do not use a lot of generative AI, almost not at all. As a photographer and designer, it is faster and more effective to create it myself. But even as an artist and designer, I have used stock images, stock vectors as a starting point. So sometimes AI, that's where AI, as we talk about, is useful because it's a starting point and it is a faster tool to get things done. If you look at calculators, people were like, calculators are bad, but you're not going to do long division every time you need to do a math equation. So this is kind of how applying to use AI is where I think the world should be going and will be going. There's a lot of like AI slop, as people call it, out there. Unfortunately, that's where I find is the most damaging, is people promoting this and encouraging this. It's unnecessary use of our resources as a humanity, as a species, with fresh water and the cooling and the large data centers. These aren't really beneficial. So I'm kind of rambling here, but that to say, with my clients, I do like an AI audit. I will look at what the results are coming up in the AI assistants. So you've got Gemini, Claude, Chat GPT. There's quite a few assistants, and even with AI, Google now. So adapting and learning how to get placed in those AI assistants is definitely useful, but I wouldn't recommend spending a lot of time, resources, or money investing into that because they are learning languages. It changed so rapidly that even if you do put a lot of money and you get in there, it might change the next week. So I tend to use traditional SEO tactics in order to apply it there. So if you have more keywords, if you're on more platforms and you're integrating those in, automatically the AI assistants will start to register you as an authority on the internet. So that said, I don't have particular AI packages, and I don't have a ton of knowledge and experience into the integrated what is the word, the intricate workings of the machines, of the algorithms. It is ever changing rapidly, so it is hard to be on top of that anyways. But if you are just learning about AI and you want to learn a bit more, definitely recommend this book. It kind of just reaffirmed a lot of what I already had an inclination and belief on, and I would definitely recommend that reading if you're AI for Dummies. And this is strictly towards sales, so if you have a business, you should be focusing on sales, period. So it is definitely a good recommendation. I did pick up another AI book. I'm gonna get started reading that and hopefully have a review or a recommendation with it. It looks pretty good. That said, so there's going to be some more videos like this coming. I'm definitely going to try and start some video, like some great content for Sustainable Surfer Girl, working with brands and businesses, getting some YouTube videos, some reels, some more content, fresh content for the readers and for the viewers, build that traffic as well to be more beneficial for my clients. I am looking at taking on contracts, small and short. Typically I try and do a starting point of 3 months. 3 months is a great basis to get a trial run, see how we work together, see if you're happy with my services, if I'm happy working with you, how we can create a strategy, what needs, because we get a much more in-depth look of the inner workings of the business, operations, sales. And then after that, we can look at continuing a long-term contract, or I will finish that contract with recommendations going forward. Here's the best use of your marketing budget or lack thereof. So that's basically where I'm at the time being. Definitely checking out what's the next 6 months to come. That's kind of all I gotta say today. I mean, I'm saying a lot of ums, ims, and mums, but trying to get some content started, get it up there, and create that momentum needed going forward. So look forward to having more info and more news and more travels. Indonesia is still on the list for this year. When and how is another story. I have a partner over there in Bali, hoping to have another partner upcoming soon, and maybe some other contracts to get that trip worth going. It's more about getting over there because the flight is quite expensive. So I've got to figure out how to budget that in. So there will be lots of new things coming. Stay tuned. As for AI as well, I'm going to have some more tips and tricks. Also looking at software. I have always been an Adobe user. I love Creative Cloud. The tools and software is amazing. However, it is very expensive. So that said, I am on quite the budget as a startup. So I'm looking at other things. I've been using Affinity, Canva Pro, as well as finding some free photo editing software and free PDF viewers, editors as well, because the Creative Cloud does offer quite a whole package if you can afford that in your budget. If not, it is a lot more trial and error and a little bit more risky in the sense of open content can have its glitches. So that is also going to be coming soon. And this week I'm hoping to finalize some contracts and get a few clients on the roster, as well as finding new work and getting those travel guides up, getting the advertise starting and start sales for that. I would like to have that magazine out this summer in the Essaouira local area. So that's to come. Stay tuned. If I've sent you a reach out email, great, connect. Would love to have you on board. If I haven't, please reach out if you're interested in working with me. I would love to have the conversation. And if you haven't received a reach out yet, you might be having it come soon. So lots to do, very exciting. So excited to show it with you. We're starting Ramadan here in Morocco. It's my first day fasting. I am not Muslim, but I do participate in Ramadan. I actually love this time of year in Ramadan. I'll have a couple posts on that on the Sustainable Surfer Girl, as it has a lot to do with sustainability as well. So that's it. Exciting. We're starting this month strong. Let's go. March into April coming soon.